Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 here in Memphis. And I kind of saved this segment here for last because I'm always intrigued when someone has an idea that I wished I'd had many years ago. But it's a new product that's out. I've got one of them. I've already had very much curiosity when I bring it out because a lot of my deer hunting friends don't know what I'm doing. But when I come out with this orange case and I open it up and I'm ready to field dress my deer, it's called the Gut Daddy. And if that doesn't make your memory jog, nothing else will. But on Saturday morning, we're going to talk right now to the man who invented the Gut Daddy, and that's Pat Palmer. He is out of Durango, Colorado, grew up in West Texas. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk Gut Daddy, buddy. So tell us how this idea originated. I mean, let's just walk us through it and how you came up with it.
Well, it originally started as the idea of trying to make it a little easier to field dress your deer without it just flopping around.
There you go. Yeah.
And as time has evolved, I was watching a good friend of mine trying to teach his 8-year-old son how to field dress a deer.
Oh, me.
And it really clicked hard at that time about how good it could be for new hunters.
Yes.
Older hunters, hunters with disabilities, and that type of stuff.
And when you did this now, I know you're a hunter yourself and things along this line. How did you put it? I mean, this is, folks, I'm telling you, because the kit itself, describe what the Gut Daddy is.
Well, it's a patented device that you lay out on the ground, and it cradles your deer in the perfect field dressing position. And I wanted to create something that wasn't just one faceted. I wanted it to be able to carry all your knives, your sharpener, and all in one place, because it's inevitable when you're out hunting with people. They've got their knives in one spot and the sharpeners in another, and they're all in different spots.
Well, you just put me together. That's it. Yeah. So
again, I just wanted it. I wanted to simplify an old process.
But tell us about the stakes and everything. I mean, you got these stakes to keep the leg. I mean, I know there's a video, folks. You can go to gutdaddy.com, right? Is that right? And
yes.
And see the video tells everything. You don't have to say anything else, right, Frank? You just looked at it.
I just watched it.
Isn't it not amazing?
Yes, it is. Gutdaddy.com.
And it's the video.
Deer hunters, you need to go there.
You need to go there. And the kit itself, as Pat said, includes, you lay the deer on what's basically the carrying case for all the equipment inside. And he has stakes in there where you can keep the legs in perfect position. He's got all your field dressing equipment there with him. And you just simply lay that deer. No more of this worried about the flopping and all these other kind of things. And when it came to me, and I realized this is simple, but at the same time, I'm assuming that you put some time into this.
Oh yeah. It's 12 hours drive from my house to my ranch down in Texas, and I have a lot of time to think while I'm on the road.
Yeah, is that where it came up? Is that?
Yeah, just in transit, and just knowing that I wanted to create something that would help people to make it easier.
Well, anybody that's lived in Durango for 30 years, what a beautiful place to live. I could do a lot of clear thinking in Durango better than I could in Memphis, Tennessee. I can tell you that for a fact. So, and this idea, what's been the response?
Overwhelming.
Okay.
It's moving at such a fast pace that we're having a hard time keeping up with it right now. I can't think of one negative comment that we've had.
Well, I don't know how you could. I mean, it even comes in two colors, right? Don't you have a pink one?
Yeah, we've got a hot pink one for the ladies if they want one, and then Dayglow orange is our main color.
And that is it. Again, we're talking to Pat Palmer about the Gut Daddy, and when I was looking at this, it's so simple. It's amazing for us the simplicity of the thing, but to do it, we don't really like to talk about field dressing. You know, everybody says, "Man, I can't wait to get to the woods so I can field dress my deer." I'm telling you, it's not a fun thing to do. Okay, and
it's work.
It is work, particularly if you're by yourself and you're 75 years old, and you say, "What am I going to do?" I've got my gut daddy in my truck. I tell you, are in my blind with me and things like that. And you mentioned the educational process in this. I know people that can field dress a deer. I saw a man do it in 4 minutes. I've seen people take 4 hours, and so I'm assuming you looked at this as a way to educate the young, like you were talking about, but at the same time to help those of us that need some help.
Right, and something else that has kind of come up out of it, Larry, is when you use those rib spreaders that are included with the case.
Yeah.
You won't be a mess when you're done either. It actually makes it cleaner.
Well, so that video, how long did it take you to clean that deer?
3 minutes and some seconds.
3 minutes and some seconds. Folks,
three minutes and some change.
And some change. Well, I like dollar bills better than change, but that's okay. I'm sure that's what you're going to do here. This is if you're looking for a Christmas gift, so tell us, Pat, how much do these things cost, and how do they get one?
So we've got a full kit right now for $99.99. That includes everything in the Gut Daddy as far as the post, the rib spreaders. It has a how-to brochure, how to actually operate the Gut Daddy, and a set of knives. It'll be 2 knives and a bone saw.
It's in there, buddy.
And then we've got one that does not include the knives and the saw. That's for $69.99.
Wow! And
you can go on to either Amazon or GutDaddy.com.
And before we let you go, Gut Daddy, was that just came off the tip of your tongue, and that's what this thing's got to be called? I got to ask you.
It kind of did, and my daddy never let me down.
Oh, that's true.
And
yeah,
that's kind of where I went with it, and then I was kind of playing around, and the old saying, "Who's your daddy?"
Yeah,
and it's GutDaddy.com.
Well, it's an amazing thing, folks. You need to check it out, and I appreciate my good friend Stephanie Mallory for hooking us up, Pat. Again, I've got one of them, folks. You see me driving around, you see me, you ask me about the Gut Daddy because I know firsthand, and it stays right in my ground blind where I deer hunt, and it's enabled me to almost hunt alone, which I don't do very often, but it's just a wonderful tool. Great Christmas gift, right? Can they get one quick enough? Are you out of them?
Oh, no, we're stocked up. We're ready to go.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure. All right, thank you, Pat Palmer, and we appreciate you, buddy. And I'll stay in touch with you and let you know how I did this year, okay?
Thank you, sir. Thanks for reaching out to me.
All right, thank you, Pat. All right, Pat Palmer.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Durango. Dark Moon. He's the CEO of Dark Moon Hunting. I wanted to ask him about that, but I was afraid to. I didn't know what that may lead to or anything like that. Let me tell you about next week's show. It'll be our Thanksgiving show, and yes, we will be on the air next week. Going to talk a little Mojo Outdoors. That's waterfowl, of course. Ramsey Russell. We're going to talk to Ramsey, and we're really glad we're going to be able to talk on Thanksgiving that weekend with the one and only Kevin Van Dam. We'll be on next week's show to talk a lot about what's going on in the professional bass fishing world. You will not want to miss the conversation with Kevin Van Dam. And in between that, we're going to talk to James Watson. Who's James Watson? He's a professional bass fisherman who just competed with the U.S. team in the World Black Bass Championship in Mexico. And guess who won?
He did.
The U.S. team, led by James Watson. Ron Stallings of Blakemore Fishing will be here. Chris Knight, Shelby Forest Taxidermy, is going to give some tips on if you get a deer and you want to get it mounted. I can't think of anyone better to take it to than Chris Knight of Shelby Forest Taxidermy. Ron Wong and Bill Cooksey can hobble in on that injured leg he has now. He'll be with us next week also, bless his heart. He's hobbling around, but he'll be here next week. And then, of course, want to wish everybody a great Thanksgiving between now and then. Frank, go kill him this morning.
Looking forward to being there.
I'll be checking back in with you, and I'll be heading to it's going to be strange being in Orange Beach on opening weekend of the duck and deer season, but family comes first, and then hopefully then I'll be over all this epizooty mess. And all you want to know about LROutdoors.com, It'll be there.
That's me.
That's you.
All right.
And I like all the information we've got down the side. You know, a lot of people don't realize that we just don't just post the show and things along that line, and have all of our great sponsors such as Frank and his wonderful business. But I send Guy stuff you won't find anyplace else, and it'll be new. It won't be 2 days old like some media outlets have right now. It's called a newspaper.
That's a big turnoff.
But we get it on there pretty quickly and things along that line. Shelby, thank you for taking care of us as she does each and every week. And head over to Indian Motorcycle this morning.
Please go over to Barton Power Sports Indian Motorcycles in Memphis.
Or you can go to.
You can go to Barton Power Sports at Jonesboro, Arkansas, or Forest City, Arkansas, or West Memphis, Arkansas.
There you go, and it's you can get all them. You can even get you a black Indian T-shirt like I got. We
have so many different T-shirts.
You do,
yeah.
But I like that black one. You know it, and I see that billboard on Whitten Road all the time. It just tickles
fixing
me.
to change.
It is.
It's fixing to change.
What does that mean?
It means there'll be a different billboard up.
It'll still be you though, won't it?
It'll still be me.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure.
Tell a different story.
Oh, tell a different story.
Tell a different story.
Oh my! And we didn't even talk about Oregon. We'll have to talk about that another time.
We'll talk about Master National next time.
It was great, right?
It was.
It was a wonderful
good event.
Yeah, with 18,000 dogs in Frank. How many? What? 800?
769.
We don't want to forget that last one right there. Okay. This is Larry Ray. Remind you, I do each and every week. It doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And what else?
God bless the USA.